What's the most shocking thing you discovered your child was hiding from you? My son Alex was always the straight A kid, the one who never needed reminders to do homework, who read ahead in textbooks, who teachers raved about at conferences. Quiet, responsible, steady. We never worried about him. Then last month, his math teacher called. She sounded concerned and asked if everything was okay at home. I said yes, as far as I knew. She hesitated, then told me Alex hadn't turned in homework in 3 weeks. I was floored. Every night I saw him at the kitchen table, pencil in hand, head down, doing what he always said was math homework. I'd ask how it was going and he'd mumble something like, fine, or just a few more problems. I confronted him that night. At first, he insisted everything was fine, but the more I pressed, the more his walls started to crack. Finally, he broke down in tears. He admitted he'd been faking his math homework. He'd been printing out math worksheets online, scribbling incorrect answers on purpose and throwing them away before school, just enough to make it look like he was working. Why? Because he'd recently been accepted into a competitive science program, something he'd worked hard for and was excited about, but the math was way beyond what he'd expected, especially the calculus. He couldn't keep up. Instead of telling us, he decided to fix it himself. Every afternoon, he'd go to the local library. He told us he was hanging out with friends, but in reality, he was watching YouTube videos, reading college-level math guides, trying to teach himself concepts he'd never learned. The librarian confirmed it, said he came in most days, sometimes staying until closing. She thought we knew. I asked him why he didn't just ask for help, why hide it? He looked down and said, because I'm the smart one. I didn't want you to think I wasn't anymore. That hurt more than anything else. We'd never said those words to him, never told him he had to be perfect, but somewhere along the way, that's what he heard. That's what he believed. That being the smart one meant struggling wasn't allowed. The next day, we found him a tutor, not because we were disappointed, but because we weren't going to let him do this alone. We called the program director. They agreed to let him stay in the program on the condition that he could catch up by the end of the semester. No warnings, no punishment, just a path forward. He got to work. The library trips turned into tutoring sessions. The fake worksheets were replaced with real ones, this time full of crossed-out problems and genuine effort. He didn't magically become a math genius overnight, but something changed in him. He stopped trying to hide. Yesterday, I was cleaning up the kitchen and saw his math folder on the table. A sticky note was stuck to one of the pages. His handwriting, messy, but familiar. Mom, got a B+ on today's quiz. Not perfect, but I actually understood it. Thanks for not being mad. I stood there holding that note for a long time. I hadn't realized how much pressure we'd put on him, not through our words, but through the silence that came with pride and expectations. We thought we were supporting him by staying out of the way. He thought he had to keep earning that pride by being flawless. But he's not flawless. He's brave. He's trying. And now he knows that's enough.